Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video. We have just, actually Chris is out with me today, just popped round to Cat's to pick up the clutch for the, what's that van? Mercedes Vito. God,
Yeah.
we've got so much going on.
Yeah.
And I know in the last video everyone was like, Rob, I've seen you do some work, you and Chris working together. So I said to Chris, we got to run around this morning and get a few bits. But over the weekend, flicking through Instagram, I've just shown Chris this car. It's Audi A1, what was that? It was something special, wasn't it?
Sporty one, isn't it?
Competition. Audi A1 competition. Now, this has come through one of our subscribers, and it's actually his mum's car. And I can say the problem, can't I? Mechatronics unit, DSG, I know they're notorious for going wrong. But I've just got off the phone to the lady. He's passed me his mum's number. And Chris said, it does sound, it's not something we've done before. No. And it does sound like, it was really honest. They was really honest. They bought the car from a garage and they've been quoted so much money to fix it. So what we've actually decided to do is have a go at it. Again, this might be scrapped. We've got to reach out to Yanni at YC and see if he can get it picked up.
Quite a long way off, isn't it?
It's another hour past where we got the last one picked up. So we need to get a quote off of him, just work out really what it's going to cost us. But we're quite excited about it. I know a lot of people are going to have mixed feelings because it's kind of like that Fiesta. It's a bit two-tone, isn't it? And a lot of people were saying about that roof. But yeah, we'll see how we get on with it, get some quotes, and hopefully, guys, we'll get that one dropped off and we can have a look at it. It's not something I've ever had anything to do with.
Strange you're having a run of gearboxes lately.
Definitely. So it's DSG like this. Well, it's not DSG, but it's got the paddles on it. And apparently it doesn't drive. We don't know any more than that, apart from she's had a quote for over £4,000 to get it fixed.
So it sounds like the gearbox is toast.
Toast, yeah. Right, let's see how we get on. Let's go and get this clutch. Just like any vehicle that we're buying, especially buying a vehicle blind, as honest as the people sound and as honest as the story is, we do always run a car vertical check on a new car that we're buying for the channel. But as you can see from this one, the mileage is okay, theft is okay, accidents is okay, and there's no outstanding finance. 9th for the 8th, 2011. Maintenance, that's nice. All the service history's here for it. MOT history there for it as well. More maintenance. So it's been very, very well looked after, and they did say it overall, it is a very, very nice car, apart from the fault that has occurred with it. So there's a few MOT advisories and a couple of failures there, but you've got to expect that on a car of this age. Also, was currently on a private reg when they sent me a picture of it, but said it has now been removed, and it does clearly show that there. So scrolling a little bit further down, there's a stolen vehicle check there, which was performed in all of these countries. So United Kingdom, Romania, Canada, Czech Republic, just to name a few. The mileage there on the MOT history is all going in the right direction, and it is currently at about 60,000. So this check does all check out absolutely fine. There is 9 helpful tips and tricks right at the bottom of this check when you're purchasing your vehicle that will help you out. So if you've not been and bought a car before, there is 9 helpful tips and tricks down here of things to check, like wear on the tyres, exhaust smoke, etc, etc. So we want to thank Car Vertical once again for the continued support on the channel. Guys, what I will do is just show you a quick example of what one would look like if there was an issue when you're purchasing your vehicle. So here's an example we've used before, and this is exactly what you're looking for on the front page. If any of them are orange, so mileage, theft, accidents, any of those are orange on your check, you need to scroll further into the check and do further investigations. Right, let's get this one arranged, mate, eh? Get it brought back here.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, good.
It's actually a couple of days later, so all this happened on Friday, and what a little car.
Yeah, very tight.
What a nice little thing. I'm going to put my coffee down, Chris, 'cause I'm trying to struggle here with one hand. but
Bit jazzy, isn't it?
quite jazzy, yeah, called a competition. So it's very similar to that Fiesta in the case of it's got a few bright bits around it, but actually a really, really nice car. 65,000 miles. Little sat nav. I'll take it as a sat nav.
Yeah.
Pop up sat nav there. That'll be the same as the other one we got, won't it?
Yeah. 1400 turbo.
14 S-Tronic DSG. So, oh, it hasn't got the paddles on it. I thought it had paddles on it. So, just shows you, unless you're standing right in front of it, you're miles out. Now, it would be fair to say we didn't just push this in and that's where it's sat all weekend. That is true to a degree, but we know that he can't do anything without having a little look into it. So Chris opened up the boot and there was actually a piece of cardboard in there with like bits wrapped up in bags, and Chris said I didn't want to leave it in there because it had oil on it. So to me, as soon as we opened the bonnet, it all looked complete, but if you do actually look down there, you can see there is a big piece missing. So let's go into the workshop and I'll show you exactly what that is. We wasn't aware at all that this had even been looked at. The lady just said the garage quoted her such and such because there was an issue with it. But the actual, what would you call this, the Mechatronics unit? Motronics has actually been removed from the car and it was in the boot. And it wasn't until this morning Chris has told me everything. So there's other parts of it here. And if you lift that off, Chris, that's actually been blown off.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's all bent. And if you look, guys, that's actually completely cracked there. This is not meant to be like that. And then I'll take it, one of these screws into it.
Yeah, well, this is I think this is the accumulator.
Yeah, so if you stick that back in there, you can see.
Yeah, this goes up inside that, doesn't it? That all sits in there like that.
But you can see this great big gap. Obviously, this is meant to screw into that, and it's split. And it's...
Does that show up?
Yeah, it does. It's actually... That's quite an impact.
Yeah,
that's it, that, with faults, hasn't it?
It hasn't blown the bolts out. They've removed the bolts, but it has been bent it. And I would imagine a big oil slick on the road when that happened, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because that would have dumped a lot of oil out of that, I would have thought. And yeah.
So not only have you got this out and you actually cleaned up quite a bit of oil, I noticed there was a lot here this morning. Not only have you got that out, you've also done a load of research and you found a company that supplies a rebuild kit for this.
Yeah, several companies actually, Rob, and they supply this part as part of the rebuild kit, which kind of tells you, doesn't it, that it must be
the issue,
a common, and they sell a new one of those.
Right.
So I'm guessing that is something. I've never worked on one, so I don't know, but I know they do have lots of faults.
Okay.
So which is no reverse, but I don't think that's no reverse. I think that's loss of everything, don't you?
Yeah, and you also notice that our bolts are missing. We got one.
Yeah, one bolt.
So we
need
got
a bolt set.
And you've worked out how many that of 6 bolts in total, 7.
Yeah.
And he worked out how many was short, how many was long. But as soon as I got in this morning, Chris said, let's crack on and get this filmed, even though we got other stuff on, because he found the rebuild kit and I'm actually going to go now and collect that.
Yep.
Are you going to strip this before while I'm gone, or are you going?
I am, because if I do find anything else, I can ring you while you're on your way there.
Exactly. It is just across the Dartford crossing, so there's quite a bit of muck in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
But you did notice that there's a snapped bolt in.
They've attempted to drill it out.
So you'll make that right.
I don't know quite why a load of the drillings are in here. Do you?
No. Yeah. But I don't think they've come from this, have they? They've come from the bolt. They're too clean.
That's right, from drilling. So
yeah.
It's going to have to be a full strip clean, isn't it?
Although this is your first time doing one of these, I know you can't film it and explain what you're doing because you don't kind of know until you get in there. But will you try and time lapse a little bit of that for us while I'm out?
Yeah.
Right, I'll head over the water and grab the rebuild kit for it, and you can crack on with that.
Yeah, I mean, if I get stuck, I won't go any further till you come back with the kit.
Yeah.
there's plenty of pictures on the internet of various companies that sell the kit, and yeah, there's a lot of seals going here, numerous bits and pieces, so be quite interesting, I think.
Yes, give it a go. No messing around there, guys, while I was gone. Nice and straightforward stay though, no traffic. But Chris has got all of that completely stripped down. Well, you've got a couple of little bits to do over there, haven't you?
Yeah, that's the solenoids on the broken piece. But I didn't want to take them off till you got back with the new one.
So you can change them over.
Yeah.
Right.
Otherwise it's just more bits.
Everywhere, yeah. So you can see there is a lot of parts to this, and I did have a bit of a chat with the guy there, and he said very common for these to explode, believe it or not, and he was working on 2 of them on his bench. So I said, do you need any special tools? And I actually told you, didn't I? He said, you only need one. That's a good brain. And we got a good brain here, so we're going to be all right. That Chris has cleaned all of that up, got every bit of grime out of it, and I've been and got the kit. I also got, let's just fold that down. I also got the new gearbox oil for it, and the new, what's the correct word for that before I make a mistake? What's it called? Mechatronics unit. We've got the new oil for that. In here we've got a full gasket and seal set for it. Then in here, have you already taken that out, Chris? We've got the nice new case in there with, where you can see it's in one piece. And then, of course, we got a new end plate cover for it there as well. But instead of coming straight back, I took a chance and actually just drove to the local Audi dealer, and I bought the bolts. The most expensive bolts in the world, may I add. They're aluminium, but did I tell you how much they was?
That's crazy, isn't it?
Did I tell you how much they was?
You did.
£26, guys, for them bolts. Unbelievable. So we are going to move over to here now, and Chris is going to take these they're solenoids? They are solenoids, aren't they? 4 on each side, and you can see they're in packs. So he's got 5 bolts there to undo, and then he'll probably get that new unit out and bolt them straight to it, and then turn it up the other way. That is what you're going to do, isn't it? And bolt them on.
Yeah,
so
I don't know what kind of seals there are underneath them. So
yeah,
we'll find out in a minute.
That's crazy how that's done that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, let's carry on. Chris done very well there, considering that was your first time ever messing around with one of these.
Yeah.
And it was quite straightforward.
Yes, yeah, no major dramas. Getting that little cylinder out from in there was a bit tricky.
Is that a little red seal in there?
No, it's a bit of rubber grease.
Oh, right, okay. So all of this back together, but as usual, not without its stumbling blocks that we've just come across, because this is the final part that's got to go on it.
Yep.
Now, we've got this cylinder and this piston, and Chris actually noticed, if I can get this under the light, I'm just going to try and show you guys. Can you see? Yeah, you can see that clearly on camera. There is actually a chunk missing out of that rubber seal, and that rubber's all the way around there, you can see it, but that rubber seal didn't actually come with the new kit. Also, there is a retaining ring here, and if you look, there's actually two places it can go. I'm going to get you to pop that on there because my hands are up. That's it, it's on there now. So there's actually two places it can go, one at the top and one at the bottom, but we haven't got two.
No,
we only got.
I think it has two to stop it when it's inside there. That would hold it. If it only had one, I think that would hold it a little bit skewy.
Yeah.
It could go skewy. So
I have just spoken to the chap where we bought this kit from. It was only through the crossing, and it's not the end of the world if I have to go back there, but I really didn't want to, and it looks like I'm going to have to, because he actually sells this kit separate.
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't that spiteful either. So I'm going to head back there probably first thing in the morning. I'll go, because we want to get this back together and pick up the...
It's a shame because the kit came with this seal. I've changed that.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, but it didn't come with the... Because I guess you wouldn't normally take that apart.
Right, okay. Yeah, because that pushes inside that.
Yeah, so...
That's a bit of a shame, but
that fits on there.
Fits on there nicely.
With that inside it.
And when I go back, I'll ask him what we talked this up to.
Yeah.
Right. Also, you did notice there was a couple more bolts missing, did you?
Yeah, we've got on this cover. I won't unpack the new one because it's almost...
The new one is down there all packed up.
So you've got the bolts that go
through. The big ones.
You've got those, but these smaller...
We haven't got.
No, but they're only 6 mils. So I think we just use our bolts. We've got plenty of new bolts, haven't we?
Yeah.
We use 6 mil washers. We've got the seal for that. So it is just going to be that's holding us up.
But that's as far as we can go for now.
And having looked at it, everything else seems to be there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
we'll have to leave it there for a minute. So back for a second time. Auto Trans Tech Limited. There's a chap working in there. The office is right at the back there where you go in, and they obviously sell all these rebuild kits. And there's a chap just round the corner here on a workbench, and he's actually got probably 5 or 6 gearboxes in bits. They do a service where you can turn up with your car and have it done, but I mean, we're doing ours now. But I've got my receipts there. This is the actual cylinder. He said that, again, this is a brand new unit, but this is not meant to come apart. This is how it should be all together. So I did look inside here, and if I turn it round a little bit, you can see that ring that Chris was on about is actually at the top, and I think that is what's holding it in, possibly, or something further down here. That seal's pushed in, but yeah, this is not meant to come apart. He did also tell me it's a bit of a nightmare to fill it up, because you've got 1 litre in the unit itself, and then you've got 2 litres of gearbox oil, which has to be pumped from the drain plug. So let's get back to the yard and we'll get it all back together. Just arrived back at the yard, and yeah, waiting for the gate shut. He can't help it, honestly. Standing around is not for Chris at all. I haven't started the next video on that yet.
I'm just looking what we need, mate, and what's got to come off.
I'll see you got your book out.
Yeah, got the... Oh, you filming?
I've got it.
All right.
Don't do too much on that, because we ain't...
No, I'm just looking. There's quite a lot got to come off to get that out.
Is there?
Yeah, we'll only turn a little way.
We can get that off them axle stands and off them blocks now, so that I can reach it. Right, let's go in the workshop. So like Chris just said there, guys, we have got a lot on, and that Range Rover, actually, you think it actually looks quite untidy out there in the yard. We do want to get on with that.
We just want it moved.
We want it moved. I mean, it's been there well over a week now, hasn't it? Probably longer than that. So on that bombshell, I think we're pretty much going to have to leave this as it is. And Chris did just say, you're going to mess around with this probably in the evenings when you...
Yeah, I probably will have a go tonight a bit.
Right, okay.
I'll video a bit.
But just to point out, that is the refill, and you've made up a little...
just ready, really. Last night when I was just playing about, really.
Right, so we're going to leave it there. Like we said earlier in the video, it does seem to be a run of gearbox problems at the moment. We got lucky with the Vito, we got lucky with the Berlingo. So fingers crossed we get lucky with this one as well. That is going to be the end of today's video. Don't forget, please like, subscribe, share. Follow us on Instagram for the little sneak peeks at Salvage Rebuilds. And we will see you very, very soon in the next one.